Okay guys, so I've got a banger for you in this video. We are reviewing RIEL Casimero's fight with Charlie Edwards. Casimero from the Philippines was defending his IBF World Flyweight title against Britain at the end. Let's get straight into the action.
Okay boys, if I call break, you take one step back. Don't let any punches go around the back of the head. Protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves. Good luck boys.
Another fascinating matchup and another amazing chance for a young British fighter to leap up and try and grab that golden ticket. We've got a record 14 world champions for Britain. Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Tony Bellew, James DeGale, Billy Joe Saunders, Liam Smith, Kell Brook, Ricky Burns, Anthony Crolla, Terry Flanagan, Lee Selby, Carl Frampton, Lee Haskins who's on later, and Jamie McDonnell. Can Charlie Edwards make it sweet 15 and add to that list? But he's got to derail the tough, rugged, strong, deceptively powerful RIEL Casimero. Vastly experienced, Paulie. He's been around all over the world.
Vast experience, and he's going to look to make Charlie Edwards uncomfortable, knowing he hasn't been in with the quality as a professional at this level.
Right hand already, trying to detract the tactics of Edwards, derail them fast. Edwards will be looking for the neat jab, the combinations, the quick feet, the mobility, Dave.
Yeah, I was speaking with Danny Vaughan, his trainer, earlier on today. They're very, very confident. But Danny, as a coach, he knows he's done all the work in the gym. They've worked, they've moved, they've used the skill, they've used the height, the reach, everything he needs to do in this. But once that bell goes, the trainer can't do anything. The fighter's got to implement that game plan. And, you know, we're seeing here, Casimero's actually getting up to him closer a little bit earlier than what I expected. I thought he'd take, look, another right hand. I was expecting it to be a little bit more comfortable early doors for Charlie.
Yeah, and Casimero throwing some big shots. He looks like he's looking to make an explosive statement right off the jump.
We're going to see a lot about Charlie Edwards tonight.
I wonder if he's looked at him and thought, this is a youngster. He's 23. He could be mistaken for 16 or 17, and maybe he feels he's a bit brittle and he can apply the pressure and he'll crumble. But Edwards, he's looked so far pretty tough for his slender physique. We'll find out more here as he tries to get the ring movement flowing. Edwards behind that jab, he's just stalking Casimero, closing down the distance, looking to hurt him early.
Yeah, it seems like Charlie's still trying to settle into the fight. Oh, and then big right hand, nice right hand there by Casimero.
You don't really want to be settling his fight and taking shots like that, though, do you?
No, absolutely not. You know, he's trying to stick out his jab. I'd say with Charlie, you know, he's a little bit tight right now. He's got to use some feints in there. He keeps coming up short with the jab. Maybe use some feints in there. You know, relax a little bit and see what kind of reactions Casimero gives you.
It's a big night for Charlie, and this is his 9th pro fight. You know, he's very young, very inexperienced, very green, and just on the occasion, or the undercard that he's on, it takes a lot of maturity for him to go out there and implement a game plan that he's been working on for weeks.
I totally agree with you, Dave. I would like to see once Charlie warms up how he gets things going. Casimero's finding a trajectory on the right hand, but Charlie, for his own sake, at least has that left hand up.
Yeah.
He's been so confident, Charlie Edwards, since he took the challenge. He accepted it straight away. He watched a couple of rounds of Casimero and he thought, I can do this guy. He's a plodder. So even after just a few fights, they've got a wonderfully close relationship over in Marbella, where Edwards has honed himself into top physical shape. He's never out of it, really. But for this one, he has to be spot on and so sharp to implement the game plan. And it's going to be hard against this champion, former light flyweight king, now the IBF flyweight holder, RIEL Casimero, in his 26th outing. 22 wins, 14 knockouts. He's the power puncher in there. But is Edwards quicker?
You see how Charlie's still coming up just a little bit short with the jab. So I'd like to see him change the rhythm on that jab a little bit. Maybe touch with it sometimes. Don't always throw it so hard. And then see if you get a reaction out of Casimero. Maybe you can counter his counter off with that.
Toe-to-toe there. And Casimero trying to drag him in, Dave.
He's got to be careful in the exchanges, Charlie. He really has. He doesn't want to be hooking with this guy.
Yeah, you got to change that rhythm on that jab, because one thing about a jab, no matter how fast it is, if you don't change the speed on it or change the rhythm of it, a good fighter will time it and counterpunch with it, off of it.
The plan is a 12-round boxing exhibition. That was the idea from Team Edwards. Now he's got to implement it. Lost the first, didn't he?
Yeah, I think Danny Vaughan was right. He needs to feint a little bit more before he shoots that jab.
Yeah, you see, he's heavily relying on that one single heavy jab.
Yeah.
Maybe even double up the jab. If you're not going to feint with it, if you're not going to touch with it, maybe throw 2 in a row and see if you back up Casimero, and maybe you can follow with the right hand. Also, Casimero's looking to punch off of your move. He's looking to try to time it. Maybe you, again, like I said earlier, you can maybe counter his counter, but you got to soften up your own jab in order to lure that counter out of Casimero, so you can counter off of his shot.
Taking out that right hand again, Casimero, just trying to get his combinations flowing, Edwards.
Yeah.
It's an unusual style, isn't it? He's got the Filipino.
He has been set for power. You can see, you know what he's going to do.
Yeah,
he's wide leg. He's just looking for big power shots. Every shot he throws is going to be power.
Especially a big right hand, right, Dave?
Yeah.
I mean, he's looking for a huge right hand. At this point, you know, I would say Charlie should try to almost lure it out of him and get ready to counter it. You know that right hand's coming. You know he's going to shoot it. He's just looking for the moment. Maybe give him that moment. Give him the bait. Let him fall for it, and then counter with a big shot yourself when he throws the right hand. Because Charlie is a taller guy. He can pull on that right hand and counter back with his own left hook.
He's the taller guy, but he's struggling a lot to run that jab. He's not making use of his height.
Yeah, because he's throwing it the same speed. He's throwing that same speed jab. He can really vary it with. He's got a nice jab. He should really be able to vary it.
Yeah, and I don't think Casimero's having to work hard to get in range to hit him, which you would hope that early doors, you know, Charlie would be making him work hard, use his leg.
Fighters like Derry Matthews, it's all happening out there in Danny Vaughan's gym. There's a real buzz amongst them. Some electricity and real belief. But has this come too soon? Does he know enough? Is he as experienced over the course of rounds, 3-minute professional rounds? Has he got enough in the bank to be able to somehow fathom a way to take this title, bring it back to Britain? Because Casimero has seen many different styles. He's that much further down the track, Paulie.
Yeah, he has. He seems the more relaxed of the two. Charlie seems to have a set game plan. It's about just executing it a little sharper. I mean, clearly the jab is part of the repertoire here, and it's part of the game plan. And I see him doubling up on it a little bit more as this third round starts, and that's part of the adjustments that I think he has to make.
See, this is better. He's using his speed to get out of the range and not give Casimero anything on return. Get your jab off. Look for something. If he's not there, then get your feet out of there.
Hunting the body as well. Casimero. The first defence of the IBF 112-pound title that he won against the unbeaten Thaiamnat Ruadarong in Beijing. And before that, he held the light flyweight crown. So he's been operating around world class for a few years now. And Edwards, well, he's only had those English flyweight title wins, good ones, against Lewis Norman and Phil Smith, then beating Luke Wilton. But it is such a leap up, you know, like Brooks doing leather against Golovkin in levels.
Yeah, you've got to think about, you know, bridging fights and learning fights along the way. But, you know, it's refreshing to see kids that are coming out of Team GB wanting to take a big step to test how good they are already. You know, but maybe sometimes you look at a video, you look at taper fighters, and you don't think they're as good as what they are. They get in the ring and they read fights a little bit better. They're a little bit cute and a little bit more difficult to tag. And I think Charlie expected to land more than what he is doing.
Have you found that through your career? I'm thinking about Miguel Cotto and so forth.
Yeah, of course. You know, there's certainly different levels, and you learn as you step your way up. But you also mentally know there are those different levels. So when you get in the ring with those guys and the fights are tougher, you kind of already expected it, so you don't panic. I don't really see Charlie panicking. I just feel like he has to believe in himself a little bit more. I think he has the sharper of the two guys as far as offense is concerned. I think he's a better boxer. He just has to believe in his speed a little bit more and really bring some other punches behind that jab, either more jabs or a right hand and a hook after it. And Casimero is wasting less energy, but he's making it count more when he throws.
Yep, some neat punches from Edwards, but those right hands, you can feel them more from Casimero. Eye-catching for the judges, Dave.
Eye-catching without a doubt, yeah. He looks like the guy that's putting the pressure on, making Edwards work harder than what he needs to be or wants to be doing.
Interesting one here for the IBF flyweight title. Big leap up, step up himself for Epsom's Charlie Edwards, the 23-year-old in only fight number 9. With just 3 knockouts, debuted last year against this tough Filipino RIEL Casimero, who's coming early. He's got a really big, strong team around him, has all week. Sean Gibbons, his agent, was telling me he's been through a lot in his life and he's ready for anything Charlie Edwards can throw at him. He was saying himself, Casimero, that he was once like Edwards and he admires his ambition in taking this chance, but it's just too early.
Yeah, he's a champion that believes in himself, is Casimero. And as we talked about earlier, I mean, he's traveled the world and fought all over the world, so he knows what it's like to have to make defenses on the road as well.
He's actually had to escape a riot too in the ring in Argentina when he beat Luis Alberto Lazare for the interim IBF light flyweight title. It all kicked off, and I think Sean Gibbons broke a couple of ribs in there. There was a big punch up. They were hiding under the canvas.
That's the thing, Adam. When you beat these fighters in their house, their fans aren't particularly happy about it.
This is probably why he's looking so relaxed here at the O2, because nothing like that's going to happen. So
big right hand again. He tries Casimero. And a tough upbringing as well. It was hard on the streets of Cebu City. And just started to dig in some body shots and really winging them.
You see,
big uppercut, and Edwards felt that. And that's a breakthrough there for Casimero. Just staggered Edwards, and now he knows he's in deep.
This is what I mean by Charlie has to settle down. He's too quick to want to use his legs for defense. Sometimes using the legs for defense isn't the option. Sometimes it's about closing up your defense, closing yourself up, making yourself a smaller target, and not using your legs. As he's trying to escape so much, Casimero's just doing less work and putting him in position to set him up for other offense.
This is what I like about Casimero. He's not rushed it. He seems to got a reaction out for a shot. He's not rushing it. He expects to knock this kid out. That's his mentality.
He's working to it. Yep.
There's a swagger, isn't there? There's a cool, calm, methodical approach. 14 stoppages he has, and that's a body shot, which is going to slow the legs of Edwards down.
I remember a great trainer, Teddy Atlas, once said, you know, there's 3 great methods of defense. There's your legs, there's moving your head, and then there's blocking and covering up. You know, Charlie's only showing the legs. He's not, and he's gonna have to settle down and start to catch shots or move his head and make Casimero miss right from there, so he can counter him. You know, if you're always using your legs for defense, he's either gonna miss or he's gonna land, but you're not gonna be able to make him pay the way you need to pay, the way he needs to pay to lose some confidence. You gotta force Casimero to break his confidence.
He is cut though, Casimero, left eye. Well, there's something that's gone wrong for the champion, but not much.
Yeah, and I noticed in Casimero's corner, I don't understand Tagalog, but in Casimero's corner, they are showing with their movements about the body shots to go down to the body.
Obviously a tactic for RIEL Casimero. An accidental head clash caused that. Now we're into the 5th round. That will go to the scorecards, of which surely on yours, RIEL Casimero is way ahead.
You're way ahead, way ahead. The note that I just saw there, the first shot that Casimero came out and threw was the right hand to the body.
And that's the thing, Dave, right? When you got an opponent who keeps moving and using his legs, you take the air right out of the tires. You know, you keep going to the body. And Casimero doing what a veteran would do.
And the thing is, he's using his feet to get himself into range, and also using Charlie's feet coming at him to pick those spots, to take those shots. He's very clever. He's a lot more clever than what I thought just watching a little bit of it.
On paper, experience, seasoning against youth and ambition and maybe freshness, but is this turning into real man against boy here? Champion and a challenger that's come a little bit too early. They've taken the plunge. Eddie Hearn took the call, I think, from Al Heyman's people to say, have you got a flyweight that RIEL Casimero can fight? And he thought Charlie Edwards is a bit young, maybe he'll go for a European title next, but Charlie took it, and Danny Vaughan has got the belief that he can pull this off over the 12 rounds. But he's got a long, long way to go.
right here, you want to see Charlie be first in these kind of moments, especially when Casimero misses. You got to initiate the offense right back.
That right hand again, just waiting for the counter.
When Edwards is stepping in with that jab, he's leaving his back foot a little bit far behind, just making it a little bit easier for him to get count with that right hand.
Casimero, who's moved from Cebu City to Ormoc City, but he's really a man of the world.
Good shot right hand from Charlie. That was the best right hand he landed in the fight, right?
Good shot.
I'll give him a little confidence. He needs a little bit of confidence.
And it's about that, isn't it, Paulie? Round after round, when you go in too early, too soon, maybe to something that you've got to find it.
Yeah, absolutely. And eventually, you're going to have to make a decision. You were going to refuse to lose. If Charlie starts to continue to lose these rounds, he's going to have to make the adjustment and say, you know what, did I come here to not win the world title tonight, or am I going to take more chances? These jabs that he's shooting are terrific, but a lot of them are not landing the way they need to, and he's not following them up with anything substantial.
It is better, though, from Charlie Edwards, doubling up the jab, but still he's dangerous, Casimero.
And that's the thing, if he can get away from not getting hit with right hands like that, he would win the round on controlling the distance, but Casimero works about 1/3 less, but then he'll land a big right hand here and there, and it'll match whatever Charlie's doing. Because Charlie can win the round on controlling the range if he doesn't allow himself to get hit.
There's a lot of guts and character about this.
This is the 6th round. It's the 164th of a career that started in 2007 for RIEL Casimero. And this is only the 57th for Charlie Edwards. That's the difference.
Casimero still looking for that right hand over the top of the jab.
He's going to look for that all night. And that body shot. I was just about to say, and the body shot. I expect him to throw a lot more body shots than this.
So the judges, they'll be looking at work rate or accuracy. You know, that last round probably Edwards is, but you know, these ones could be split a little bit, Paulie.
Yeah, they're close.
There's a lot of there is close rounds, but a lot of Edwards' shots were early doors, especially were missing, falling short, and whereas Casimero looked comfortable pressing the action and landing the heavy shots.
See, even if Charlie's not doing a whole lot here, if he's controlling the range with his jab, if he can just do this and avoid getting hit with too many big shots or any big shots during the round, you know, he'd win the round on the activity, on the controlling the range, you know.
Yeah, sometimes it's good enough just to steal around here.
Yeah, you know, you just don't allow Casimero to get into an encumbered zone. Casimero can try, he can miss. You can keep controlling range with your jab, with your boxing ability. You're winning the round on ring generalship.
So, Paulie, he could begin to frustrate Casimero.
Exactly.
But here's a question. Has he got the power to keep him off with just the 3 knockouts at a lower level?
Well, maybe he doesn't. But, you know, if you're not landing punches, if you're missing like this, and then Charlie's continuing to bury you with his jab, you're going to lose the rounds. And it's mathematics. You win more rounds than you lose. You win the fight.
You see, you look at Casimero, how he's loading up on every single shot. Surely as the fight goes on, if he keeps missing with these shots, he's going to get tired, he's going to get ragged. And then maybe that's where Charlie's fitness and youth and energy could take over.
You see, Casimero starting to reach more to the body and go less to the head as he's missing more of those headshots.
Yeah.
Maybe he felt, Casimero, that he would go out and make a statement early. That Edwards would fold as he lands another body shot, but...
And Casimero's attack this round has been almost exclusively to the body. When he tried to the head, he missed every time so far.
But he's showing grit, isn't he, Edwards? And a good ring brain, too, to just try and keep his composure, stick to the tactics. No real panic, Dave.
No, he may look like a young baby, but you look at him and how he's fighting, he's showing a lot of toughness in there. He's showing that he's fighting like a man, which is what he needed in this fight.
He's getting more confident in the right hand. His corner did say start using more of the right hands, and he's getting more confident in shooting that right hand.
Win or lose this, it could be the making of Charlie Edwards.
This will bring him on 100-fold, it really will. These are the fights that young fighters learn. Whether it's a world title fight or not, whether you win it or not, he's going to improve.
Just a bit of reddening around the left ear of Charlie Edwards.
Another thing he did, in the corner they told him, go to your right, go away from his right hand.
At the moment, to bring somebody like Triple G over is amazing.
We even got Paulie Malignaggi to come.
You should have more big fights here. These seems like they're more appreciated by these fans, I'll tell you.
Better from Charlie Edwards?
Yes, better last round. Again, good instruction from the corner. Bring out the more of the right hand. go through his own right, which would take him away from the Casimero right hand. And Casimero, dare I say, for the first time looked a little befuddled that round.
Oh. Good right hand to the head, though. We'll watch the leaky defense. Edwards, is he going to take risks? Is he going to get back behind that jab?
And he said he's getting hit now. Why? He went both times he got hit with right hands this round. He was going to his left. He's got to make an adjustment to go to his right. Last round he did a great job of that.
See, the last 2 rounds I've actually given Charlie the last 2 rounds because he's implemented what Danny's been wanting him to do. He has kept away from that right hand and he has stuck to his boxing and picked his spots. This round he started off going back to his left, like Paulie says, and he's getting caught with these. He needs to get back to his game plan.
Casimero did lose to Amnet Ruarong in June last year, but apart from that, recent form has been knockout form. A win in 11, a win in 1, in 2, in 4. That's the power that he has, and he hasn't taken Edwards out early, but he might feel that down the stretch he'll still have enough zip about him, especially if he continues to land the body shots like that.
Something that might come into play later on, Adam. Casimero's got a history of struggling to make this weight.
Yeah.
Now, you don't know how he's made the weight. Obviously, he's made the weight, but you don't know how he's made the weight. If a guy normally struggles to make the weight, then odds are he could have struggled on this one. And the amount he's loading up on shots and missing as well as landing, and missing especially, you know, he could tire down the stretch, and he could tire all of a sudden.
It's happened, I think, 3 times in his career. One time he was 5 3/4 pounds above the weight limit.
So that's not a guy that makes his weight limit easy.
That means he had an extra meal during the week. a meal that wasn't healthy either.
It's a good little body shot.
He's going to be told to keep them up here, Casimero. He had a warning a little bit of time ago by Steve Gray, but he's starting to just get through, and Edwards felt that. Oh, big shots here from Casimero, and Charlie Edwards has to hold on and cling. And has he got the experience and knowledge and know how to do it?
He keeps ducking the same way. Casimero knows he keeps throwing the uppercut. Charlie has to make an adjustment in the way he's slipping that shot.
Inside the last 30 of the 7th round, he was doing better in the last couple of sessions, Edwards.
Or at least if he's going to duck that way, put his hand in front of his face, palm down, so you catch the uppercut.
Was that inexperience, Dave?
Yeah, 8 fights. You don't learn these sort of things until it comes to fight a situation like this, you know?
You're gonna duck that way, hand in front of your face, palm facing the floor, open glove, and what happens? You'll catch the uppercut at least.
Big hooks going in from Casimero, who feels he's more powerful, stronger, and in charge. And look at that.
The sustained offense from Casimero is with the right hand, be it the overhand right or the uppercut.
Even the body shots are all right hands.
Yeah, even the body shots. You're right.
5 rounds to go in this IBF flyweight title. Judges Michael Alexander just in front of us from Britain, Glenn Hamada from the USA, Danrek Tapsadown from the Philippines. I wonder how they're seeing things. They might not be needed if this ferocious attack from Casimero continues. He wants the knockout here.
He's really going for it. He's really going for it. Charlie's just got to frustrate him this round and not give him anything this round. Don't let him hit him with anything hard. Get on the end of the jab, time up when he gets close, just don't be there to get hit.
The thing is, Dave, he's already been hit with that earlier hard assault to start the round. He's got to take back control of this round.
There's the body shot again. Shown a decent chin here, as you said earlier, Dave, Charlie Edwards, but can he take sustained punishment in a hard 12-round fight? These are questions, aren't they, as you get towards the championship rounds? Jim Watt used to tell me there's often a round that makes the difference. Could this be the one?
Yeah, that's quite possible. I mean, the unfortunate thing is he's had a couple of good rounds on the bounce and his confidence will have been raised, and then he's just had a nightmare round, and so far in this round he's taking some big shots as well. So he's got to get that confidence back. That's especially when you're a young fighter, you need to have that confidence.
You see how Casimero just sticks out those touch shots, and he's just looking for a reaction from Charlie so he can set him up. That's what I'd like to see Charlie do with his own left hand. Not always throw the jab so hard, put out those touch shots and see the reactions you get and set up Casimero. Casimero is actually doing it to him there. Big right hand.
It's another one. Oh, and he's just gripping down on that gum shield, Charlie Edwards. And all the hours of training, he's got to suck it up. But it's all very well in sparring and in the amateur ring and in the young pros. But this is real, and this is world championship level. And it is tough, Paulie. You've been there so many times.
Yeah, and Charlie now is using his legs. He's just trying to escape.
This is getting tough. This is getting really tough for Charlie.
You wonder if Casimero is going to beat the willingness to win out of Charlie, or if he's going to try to survive, or is he going to continue to try to win. It's not an easy decision when the fight becomes this difficult.
Better work from Edwards there. Can he sustain it? He had a good couple of rounds in the middle of the fight. It's starting just again to seep away from him. Hurt. A little bit affected, maybe confidence-wise as well. What are you thinking there?
Yeah, definitely his confidence is affected. You know, you can see it in his eyes almost, really. He's just looking for a way just to stop this onslaught, stop these power shots coming his way. It's kind of like not looking for a way to win the round, win the fight. You know, he needs to have a little bit of success. He's showing bags of courage, he's showing bags of heart in there, and to be honest, a really good chin. There, so you can see they're just not ruffled at all in Casimero's corner. They're expecting to stop Charlie.
Feliciano Agabogo in the corner with Jason Casimero, John Real's brother.
Once again, I like the instructions in the corner from Danny Vaughn, though. Keep that left hand up and use your right uppercut, left hook when he comes in, when he flies in. And what does that mean? Casimero comes in with wide over the top right hand. So if you're blocking with your left hand, watch where Casimero's head winds up when he throws the overhand right. It's in the trajectory for the uppercut to be thrown by Edwards with his right hand. So if he does catch the Casimero right hand with his left hand, he can shoot back with the uppercut and left hook. I like the instructions from Vaughn. It's just Edwards needs to be consistent with his jab on the outside, not take these big shots, and come back with a counter. I do believe Casimero needs to be countered to be domesticated a little bit.
Yeah, the only problem with that is, you know, as a young kid, he's had a couple of rough rounds where he's getting caught. He's feeling those overhand rights. So when your confidence is low, to have the confidence to stand there and look at blocking and countering straight off, put yourself in that danger zone. Sometimes at this stage of a fight, the confidence might not just be there to carry out the coach's instructions.
It might have been beaten out of him at this point. You're right.
Still stalking forward, Casimero. Edwards attempting the jab. Still utilising his feet, moving as free as he can, trying to rat-a-tat, get the punches home that he's crafted since an 11-year-old. Really good member of Team GB, had a great rivalry with Jack Bateson and showing some skills here, Edwards. Will it be enough though? At the moment, on your cards, no way.
No, at the moment, no. And the worrying thing is that on each attack that Casimero's launching, Charlie looks like he's worried. He's not got the experience of look at that, the body shots that he's taking there. They hurt and they stay with you.
And this is what it is to be a top pro and a top amateur. You know, sometimes people see the Olympics that just passed and they see the handful of pros that were there look bad and they say, oh, well, maybe the amateurs can compete. Not in a 12-round fight. This is the thing about being a pro. The sustained attack in a 12-round fight, the little nuances, the little adjustments, they take their toll as the fight wears on. This is the difference of being a world-class pro. Charlie Edwards may get there one day, but it seems like this is going to be a learning fight for him tonight.
I think what will have knocked the confidence in the whole camp, whole corner team, everything, is I don't think they expected Casimero to get to him until, you know, mid-rounds. I'm sure they expected to win the first few rounds with his feet, with his fast jab, and just pop him all, you know, for the first 4 or 5 rounds. And then I'm sure they expected it to become a hard fight where he had to show his guts after, in the later stage of the fight.
Nice right hand there by Edwards a second ago.
Tom Stalker living and breathing every moment of it, bellowing instructions to Charlie Edwards, applauding when he does land. There's real camaraderie in that blue corner.
And notice Casimero cutting the ring off, making Edwards work 2 or 3 times as hard. Everybody's convinced that Casimero will tire and Edwards won't. Like you said last round, Dave, his confidence is knocked out. He's going into flight every round. He's moving way too much now. I call that going into flight. He's almost in flight mode, and you can't set up any sustained offense when you're in flight mode.
And we're already in round number 10. 9 minutes to go. Dave, Paulie, how are you seeing it on the cards? The 3 judges, obviously what matters, but what's your feeling at the moment?
I've got it wide for Casimero.
Yeah, I've got Casimero way ahead. I think Charlie needs to a big finish to this fight, and I like how he's holding his ground. At least he started the round holding his ground. You got to make the decision here. What are you going to do? You're going to go for it, or are you going to settle with the points loss?
Good right hand from Edwards.
Nice right hand.
Yeah, lovely shot there.
And a little push for good measure on the break. Still got that mean streak in him.
There has been signs from Edwards. Were the team, Dave, right to take the opportunity here, or would you have waited, say, a year or two?
Adam, he's not disgraced himself. He's shown a lot of character in this fight, and it's a fight that's going to bring him on. People are too afraid to lose their unbeaten record. If you're going to get beat, you might as well get beat in a world title fight, you know. And like I said,
I think that's a good point. Paulie, agree?
Yeah, it was worth taking a shot, especially at this weight class. You know, the guys tend to get title shots a little earlier in this weight class. So, you know, even if you lose, you're not going to disgrace yourself, especially the way Charlie's been competitive and when trying every round.
Well, let's be honest, there's not as many of you, are there, Dave? You struggled when you were in that division.
When I boxed way back, there was about 26 fighters in Britain. Now,
beautiful shot.
Walked into it.
Straight into it. And he's hurt badly here, Charlie Edwards. He's going to do very well to recover. He's brave. He gets to his feet. His legs have gone. He's being asked to walk forward. Steve Gray's giving him every opportunity. Every opportunity. Casimero wants to get on with it. There's over a minute left.
He's got to hold.
Does he have the experience to hold? Can he recover from that? I don't think so. Steve Gray holds it. It is over. John Real Casimero successfully defends his IBF title on the road again.
The winner, and still the IBF flyweight champion of the world, John Real Casimero.
So guys, there we have it. Casimero picked up a TKO victory using sustained